Now, a six-man committee headed by Governor El-Rufai of Kaduna State in northern Nigeria has submitted their report on fuel pump price. The committee set up by the Nigerian Governors Forum has recommended a petrol price of between 380 per litre and 408.5 per litre, and critically called for the immediate removal of fuel subsidy. Other recommendations of the committee include full deregulation of petrol and suggest that the pump price of the product should hover around 385 per litre. Also, part of their recommendation includes the buying of 113 buses to cushion the effects of the price increase by the federal government. And for more on this new development, Dr. BALA ZAKA, leading oil and gas analyst and petroleum engineer, and a member of Technical Research and Public Policy Committee of ICANN, joins us now. Good to have you, Dr. BALA.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I'm just wondering, from the layman's point of view, when you see these figures being thrown out into the public domain, 385 per litre, they're saying over 100% increase on what we're paying now. Isn't it slightly alarmist or even irresponsible to be throwing out such figures at this time? Or could it be better termed flying a kite?
Honestly, I don't want to use any phrase to describe what is trying to come up. I want to start by pleading whichever group or constituency that is coming up with this suggestion of increasing the price of distillate or petrol in particular to that ridiculous amount, to please have a rethink. I'm saying this because we may not be able to withstand the economic, social, and political anarchy that will follow the action. I am pleading. I am saying this because as I speak to you today, the only reason why Nigeria will continue to suffer is because we have been on the wrong economic model trajectory. This is a country where our currency is still getting devaluated and is suffering from all kinds of calamities. You're talking about a country where disposable income has almost been eroded due to inflation. And when you talk about balance of trade, it's almost negative. Please, let us rethink. Let us have a rethink and come back to the right economic trajectory. As I speak to you today, there is no drilling campaign going on in Nigeria. In the whole of Nigeria, you don't have up to 7 drilling rigs that are drilling. There was a time in Nigeria, only one company will have more than 7 drilling rigs. In Nigeria, you will have close to 40 or 50 drilling rigs. Today, in the whole of the country, you don't have up to 7 drilling rigs. That tells you something is wrong. We don't have exploration campaigns going on. And if you have a country today where price of crude oil is rising, but in the case of Nigeria, what is happening is the increase or ballooning of debt. What is happening is the collapse or sinking of our currency. That will tell you that something is wrong with our economic model, especially for the downstream sector of the Nigerian oil and gas industry.
Okay. Dr. BALA ZAKA, just to understand you clearly, are you against subsidy or you're against the timing? Because they say, these committees say, would save between 70 to 210 million. That's what we spend monthly on subsidies. And if we take that away, they say tough time calls for tough measures. So are you against subsidy or you're against the timing?
I am against both. I am against removal of subsidy, and there will never be a good time to remove subsidy. The problem we are having is we have adopted the wrong economic model for the country, especially the downstream. The deregulation we have adopted for imports, and import-focused deregulation for a third world country like Nigeria with a weak currency and a weak disposable income will never ever lead to the recovery of the economy. I am telling you this. These are practical realities. Please, whoever are the technocrats or the economists that are advising our government, be careful because we may not be able to withstand the social anarchy that will follow. We said we remove subsidy in even diesel and people are not complaining. It's not correct. Go to and meet those who are involved in production or industrialists. Most of the industries have closed shop because they cannot afford diesel. But who told you that they are not suffering? When you remove deregulate PMS, the price of PMS, and the subsidy or the deregulation is based on importation of distillates, and you have a very weak currency, your economy will grind to a halt. Honestly, who are those really advising the government to take these measures? It's just like the PIB. We refuse to pass the PIB, we balkanize the PIB, and you can see what is happening. Even if the PIB comes today, it might better come early or late than never. But I tell you, the PIB itself will be almost dead on arrival. And even the PIB we're talking about today, if we have not addressed community aspect and we have not addressed fiscal regimes. If we don't address the fiscal regimes, I'm telling you, the economy of Nigeria will grind to a halt. I will give you practical examples. As long as we continue to feel we can call the bluff of multinationals and investors, I'm telling you, we might never be better than Venezuela. There was a time Venezuela was tightening all the regimes and told the companies that they could go. If Nigeria tries all these things, in 5 to 10 years' time, we will beg investors to come and nobody will come. We have the crude oil here. We have the raw material here. Basic accounting, basic economics will tell you that processing of raw material will give you commercial values. It will bring increase in the value that you want to bring to your aggregate economic chains.
Okay, Dr. Bala.
If we say we refine or process our raw materials, we will never have commercial values.
Okay, Dr. Bala, you seem to be saying, when you keep saying we have the wrong economic model, that somehow what we're suffering now is a symptom of a foundational problem. But some might argue, though, that could you not treat the symptom as well as the actual problem itself? For example, the 1.6 trillion that we might save from subsidy, removal, could we not then use it to partly cushion the populace, since at some point we need to make a savings somewhere?
No, that is why I feel sorry for all those theoretical technocrats, the wrong technocrats that are advising the government. Most of these technocrats don't know the difference between LPG and LNG. They don't know what is happening in the oil and gas industry. They don't know what reservoir management is. They don't know what reserve management is. Okay, I heard that the body that is calling for the removal of this subsidy is saying that by the time you remove the subsidy, then you will bring in bosses. So this is the question I will ask. Why will you want to create a wound? Then you start looking for drugs to heal the wound. What makes you think that wound will not become cancerous eventually? We are talking about a country whose economy is almost prostrate. And I will always continue to ask them, as long as the deregulation is focused towards imports and we are importing, all these other countries that have state-owned refineries that we go to import from them, are those countries fools? If refining was not a good strategy, why will they be in refining? Or does it mean Nigerians are more intelligent? Let us look at the social calamities that will follow. As we speak to you today, as I speak to you today, Nigeria is filled already to the throat. We are almost getting asphyxiated. Everybody knows it. By the time you go into what you want to do now, removing total subsidy, believe me, quote me, there will be social anarchy. And for everybody to understand.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bala. The debate on removal of oil subsidy in Nigeria continues. Remains very controversial, but thank you so much for your time.